Hi guys, welcome back to the news. My country people, the CEO, the co-founding fathers of banditry, terrorism, and all forms of evil in Nigeria. I'm talking about no other person than Sheikh Gumi has spoken. He recently reached out to the Nigerian government, telling the president to treat bandits like Niger Delta militants and also grant them amnesty. You can imagine, my country people. Now this guy is a known supporter of the enemies of Nigeria. I call them enemies of Nigeria because of the evil they perpetrate, the evils they involve themselves in, the menace they cause in the society. That is why I call them the enemies of Nigeria. And this guy seems to be their spokesperson. He seems to be one of the co-founding fathers because he knows about their whereabouts. He knows everything about them. In fact, on several occasions, he has urged the government, President Tinubu, to come and negotiate with these guys, which is totally out of line. Yet this man is working freely. The DSS has not invited him over for questioning, and it leaves a lot of people wondering what kind of powers does this man possess to work as a free man while vomiting this kind of statement. Now he has called out to the federal government, the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to please grant these guys amnesty, should grant these bandits amnesty. Like, why would someone make such a statement? Now let's not forget that this Islamic cleric Sheikh Gumi has said that the Niger Delta region is relatively peaceful after the Nigerian government granted amnesty to militants and appointed their leaders, adding that the same method should also be applied to bandits ravaging the country. Gumi noted that the Nigerian military has been hard on these guys with the approach it uses to win the war against banditry in the northern part of the country. Speaking on Daily Trust X Space, he talked about Nigeria's problem and how he noted that yes, these guys should be granted amnesty. So my country people, Gumi, who has visited these enemies of Nigeria in the forest a number of times to negotiate the release of victims, gave a similar occurrence of how the former president Musa Yar'Adua gave amnesty to the rich oil Niger Delta militant, which stopped, the kidnappings of expertise. The scholar had said that militants, destroyed oil pipelines then. The enemies of Nigeria are also doing the same thing, preventing farmers from working on their farms, causing food insecurity, as well as abducting innocent children and women for ransom. So he has therefore called that the similar thing that happened in the Niger Delta, where these militants were granted amnesty, should also be applied to these bandits. Hey, my country people, this is quite interesting because according to Gumi, the Niger Delta is relatively peaceful because these warlords are now the ones guiding these pipelines and they are living their lives normally. So a similar version should be applied with the enemies of Nigeria. The common factor is that the Niger Delta militants were vandalizing, pipelines and petroleum, which is a good source of natural income. But also, the herdsmen militants are, also stopping people from farming. And, farming is an important source of our GDP. So at this point, there should be a deal with these enemies of Nigeria the same way the former administration had dealt with the Niger Delta militants, also granted them amnesty. So my country people, their spokesperson has spoken. I mean, the spokesperson of the enemies of Nigeria has spoken. So it is left for the Nigerian government, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to either listen or, have this man questioned, because this man needs to be questioned. At this point, when a list was released recently, giving names of some terrorism financiers in Nigeria, Gumi was fighting the government, faulting the list, that why would the federal government, allegedly name these people as financiers of, evils in Nigeria, that why would they include their names? I mean, this guy is just something else. We all know that Gumi is a very controversial man, no doubt. But I wonder how the government, till date, let this man walk free. In fact, it is no doubt that this man knows the whereabouts of these, evildoers and enemies of Nigeria, their whereabouts. You've seen how they, recently abducted about 285 pupils and their teachers in Kaduna. The Nigerian military are struggling. They are struggling to get these people back. And they gave their ransom that the government should bring about 1 billion naira for them to be released from the initial, they called, I think, a 4 trillion or so. They called quite huge amounts of money. And then they reduced it to 1 billion, that the government should bring 1 billion. So I wonder how the military are yet to bring this man in for questioning, at least to show them the location of these guys so that they can bust them out. And I don't see why the Nigerian military, the security agencies are still holding back. I don't see why they are still holding back, especially as this man, he knows something. He knows a lot of things about these guys, and they need to bring him for questioning so they can use him to get those people down. But Nigeria is just, a different country. Nigeria is just something else, and our government, they are not helping matters. Instead of them going after these guys, they are chasing shadows, going after freedom fighters, agitators, human rights activists, the likes of Sunday Igboho, Omoyele Sowore, and Nnamdi Kanu, whom they are even yet to release from the DSS custody. So my country people, let's not forget Sheikh Ahmed Gumi, the fact that he has called on the president, the federal government, to do something about this. And this statement is coming amid his previous statement where he called out to the president to go with him so that they can negotiate with these enemies of Nigeria to secure the release of the abducted 287 school children and their teachers in Kaduna. So my country people, what are your thoughts on this? However, Nigerians have reacted. Now, the only solution is that this man, I don't know what is wrong with this man, how they treat a criminal like this person, and he has always committed a criminal act. Never let them keep the killings going on. These people are the ones affected, not Nigerians. Can someone remind me why this man is still roaming the streets? Their spokesperson has spoken. This man should be arrested. Why is this man not in the custody already for him talking anyhow? Okay, guys, these are reactions from Nigerians. It seems that the security agencies are reluctant in arresting this man. Yes, they are reluctant in arresting this man, and they tend to chase after shadows, irrelevant things that doesn't matter, while the major problem is staring them at their faces, and yet they choose to keep a blind eye to it, which is the problem we are facing. Guys, I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comment section. Thank you.